my own blog. The other one is I'm in a little business like mastermind group, and I put it in there. And then there's a group of pattern designers on Facebook in a private group, and that is a pretty big group. And I just, on a whim, put it in there and said, hey, if anyone wants to participate. Now I get emails from people who are reading those people's blogs. So it's not even a person who found it through Facebook. They found it through, it's like the friend of the friend,
Yeah.
And so that's really cool, they're like, I want to participate too. So
that's very cool. I love it. It really is amazing. So I'm trying, and it's interesting because when you do that, you do start to sort of, I don't know, something about it. It changes the nature. It just gets into your daily life, and social media should be all of our daily lives because that's how the world sees us and communicates. So it's like breathing. And so if you don't feel that comfortable with it, it's a great way to just be like, you have to do it. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. You think of something to say because, midnight's coming. So
well,
yeah.
I do also think too that, there are people who we're so used to social media now and going on Twitter or Instagram and going, here's what I had for dinner.
Yeah.
And we're comfortable doing that, but then we look at our blog as if like we have like to sit down and write this like 10-page essay.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case. You can be just as brief as you are on any of your other social media platforms.
Yeah.
And I think, this is something that I teach all the time. Social media should be additive to your personal, your business's page, right? So the only thing you own on the internet is your website, right? You don't own Facebook, you don't own Twitter, and if they went belly up tomorrow, which can happen, then all the followers and all the fans that you're like sweating over and trying to make happy and all of that, those are gone.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't taken the time to point them all to where you live on the internet, then, why are we spending so much time on social media when it should be the other way around? Spend the time on your blog.
Yeah.
And put people towards your social media, to where your content lives. And that's the goal.
Yeah, hugely. And your classes, I hope people, when they're listening, have an opportunity to take your classes. Having sat in a lot of classes, both just my life, but also at the Quilt Festival and Market, your classes are really worth it.
Oh, thank you.
They're just really terrific, and sort of how you get a lot of bang for your buck, I guess. You give them a lot of information, and it's really super helpful. And I hope others, hire you or find you or take your classes, because I think that this stuff is difficult, but you make it manageable and not scary. And I think for a lot of people, it's scary, and it's so important to their businesses and sort of who they are,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. To me, I ran, I did a full-time job and a business at the same time. So everything had to be super condensed. And so I learned how to do, my social media marketing in like 15 minutes a day, because I couldn't spend any more time on it and still run the business.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can fall down the Pinterest hole. Everyone can spend 10 hours just looking at Facebook posts after, day after day. It can consume you, but when you're running a business, you should be consumed with that. And so I just got it down to where 15 minutes a day, I just focused on getting what I needed to get done out, and then spend the rest of the time running the business. Now, that doesn't mean I don't sit and look at everybody's posts or do all that, but I consider that my time and not the business's time.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Super cool.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. Well, let's, we've only got a few more minutes. So let's officially end here. And then I have a few questions to ask you off recording, if that sounds good to you.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. So this is Elizabeth Townsend Guard. You've been listening to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. We want to hear from you. Join our army, our quilting army. Go to our Facebook page. Suggest people to be interviewed. Suggest yourself to be interviewed. We are excited to hear from you. But most importantly, I hope you get a chance to quilt today.